Hey Chain Gang, I hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. I am so excited about all that's to come this month, the extra bonus glam points for booking trunk shows that qualify, and the beautiful collection that is launching tomorrow. We seriously have so much to be excited for, and I am also excited to share with you the momentum that I was able to create with my sample sale. So if you've never done a sample sale before, or if you're a new stylist, sample sales are definitely a key part of our season switchover strategy. They help you be profitable and also not be a jewelry hoarder. Because, you know, I totally understand how it feels, and if you're a newer stylist and you're like, you know, how could you ever have too much jewelry? I have absolutely been there before, or felt, how could I ever sell some of my favorite samples that I wear all the time? I have been there too, but what I found is once the pieces retire and once a new line comes out, I know that I'm gonna wanna wear all the new stuff instead, and I don't normally wanna wear things that people, you know, can't buy from my website, and I just always know that I'm gonna wanna wear what's fresh and what's new. That's one of my favorite perks about being a stylist, is just being able to update my wardrobe and my accessories season after season with fresh new style for free. So this is really gonna hopefully be super helpful and also save you a ton of time. What I used to do with my sample sale is I think always still, you know, even with this format, it's always a great idea to do an in-person sample sale, and you can do it in conjunction with a new line launch and book it as your double dip trunk show. So people can come and shop your samples in person for cash and carry, and they can also check out the new line and shop the new line. And it's a great time to connect with your local customers one-on-one. You can reward your hostesses by maybe letting them shop early, and also, you know, show them the new line and they'll fall in love with it, and then that's a great way to book shows for the upcoming season. However, if you're like me, you have people that are, you know, part of your business from all over the place that aren't all local. And for me, it really started when I first moved to New Jersey from Virginia. That was at a time when I, you know, the first sample sale that I needed to do in New Jersey, I really didn't have many local customers. So I had to figure out a great way to offer a sample sale to my customers that were still in Virginia. And now I'm actually in the same situation, because I have moved now to North Carolina within the past year, and now I do have a great customer base in New Jersey and Virginia and, you know, other places too. So how do we take it online? What I used to do is in my VIP group, I would spend literally hours searching for images of each item. I would be like having to double check what the original price of it was, discount it by a half, and then I would post each item. And it was like an auction style. It was like a live auction. Like people would comment on it, and it was honestly a lot of fun, because it would create a ton of momentum, and there would be a lot of excitement and like competition around getting to be the first to purchase. But like I said, this took me hours. It was fairly disorganized. I literally had, like, at one point I think I did like a notebook. It was like writing down on a notebook the prices and like who ordered what, and then I think finally I upgraded to using a spreadsheet so that I could tally things up, and then I was having to follow up with everybody to gather their payment, whether it was by PayPal or Venmo, and then I had like a few people who wanted to like old school write me a check. So, and then I had to still package everything up, make sure I had the correct address, take it to the post office and ship it. Like, it just was super, super time consuming. It was always worth it, because again, it is a key part of, you know, keeping my business profitable, so that I can use the cash that I earned from the sample sales to invest in the new line. You know, even with getting free product, of course, we all know we have to pay for tax and shipping. So it would cover that. It would cover things like going to Hoopla and just all the expenses that we have for being business owners. So it's a great way to, you know, it's not a great way. It's like a key part of the business. So how can we make that easier? I am so excited now that we have access to Cheddar Up, which is an amazing platform that Stella Dot has partnered with to make online sample sales way easier, way more streamlined and professional. And it has just really taken a lot of the headache of it out of it for me. And this was the second time that I've done it. This has been my most successful sample sale to date with $1,200 in sales. And you guys, this isn't like $1,200 PQV. This is $1,200 cash that people are, you know, giving me for my samples. Of course, I still have to pay for like some of the shipping and the, you know, mailing supplies and things like that, but I can't imagine that I'm spending more than $100 on that. So I think like $1,100 will probably be the net earning, you know, cash from doing this sample sale. Like I said, this is the second time I've done it. The first time I did it was back in the summer, and it wasn't quite as successful as this one. It was probably around 500 in sales. When I was doing the online auctions, I was probably making around $750, $800 per each sample sale, and I do them twice a year. Normally I do them in July and January, right when the season switch over and the new line comes out. Something that I always make sure that I do is whatever month that I hold my sample sale in, I want to make sure that I am in my regular business sales. I want to get to at least 2,500 in personal sales before I launch the sample sale, because I know that I definitely need those personal sales. 2,500 to me is like my personal minimum for my business and my goals. For you, it may be different, but I want to get there first because I don't want to be distracting people of like where their energy is going and where their dollars are. I don't want someone to like buy all this stuff on my sample sale and then, you know, I'm still not even qualified for the month. So hopefully that makes sense. So I didn't end up doing it in January this year because I had a super slow January and then just needed to like get it organized and stuff, and so I wasn't quite there yet. Same thing in February. So finally in March, I'm like, I've got to get this done. Like I have so many samples, they are coming out of my ears, literally my earrings. So the first thing that I did was get everything organized, and Cheddar Up makes it super easy. I'm not going to go into like super detail about the platform itself because there are separate webinars that Cheddar Up host that you can participate in and get like a full walkthrough on exactly how to use it. There is a group on Facebook that is specifically for Stella Dot stylists with Cheddar Up that is actually really helpful. They are very responsive with answering questions on there. So after I'm done this video, I will post that group so that you can request to join it if you would like to do that. The things that make it so much easier are that Cheddar Up has preloaded all of our past catalogs into their system. So in order to create your own collection for your sample sales, you just have to go through and select the different items. It already knows what the original price was, so it has it discounted. It already has the images loaded. There is an option, I believe, to add more if you'd like. So like maybe if something was slightly damaged and you wanted to be sure to like post a picture of it so that people know what they're buying, you can upload that. You can add a note. The prices will automatically reduce to 50% off, but let's say back to that previous example, it's a bag and it has a little mark on it, and you take a picture and you load that and you discount it to like 75% off to account for the added, you know, wear. So you can do all types of different things like that. The pricing is that it's $12 a month when there's like a place where you can get it to be a lower pricing per month if you have it on all the time. However, what I am doing is a $12 a month option. And then you can put it on like pause mode when I'm not actively doing a sample sale, and that makes it $5 a month. And basically what that does is it saves my collection so that when I go back in, I don't have to rebuild it from scratch. I could cancel it and just have it on when I am doing my sample sale, but then I would have to go back in and re-add all the items. So I don't know, I'm still kind of deciding, like, is it worth it to pay that $5 a month for the 10 additional months that I'm not doing an actual sale, or, you know, how much time does it take me to rebuild the collection each time? Is it worth $50? I'm not sure that it is. I would have to like weigh the pros and cons a little bit more thoughtfully than I am right now on this live video. Okay, so you put all that stuff in there, and then it makes it just super easy for people to go on and shop. Once you make the sample sale live, they just go on and it's like a regular e-commerce site. They can shop using their credit card. You can put things in there like You can offer a promo code. You can do a password that they have to type in to gain access to the sale. And you can do like certain offers like free shipping and stuff like that. I decided this time, so I had a couple of different things that I did the first time, and I think I made it too complicated. So I kept things really simple this time. And I really focused primarily on building excitement around the sale launching so that I could get people on there, create a sense of urgency. And for me, I think that that's what really worked. So I spent about a week prior to my sale hyping it up, and honestly, I had kind of been hyping up my sample sale, at least to just my VIP Facebook group since January, because I kept sort of saying like sample sale coming soon, and then, you know, I had not launched it yet. So there was definitely some hype building up, and I spent a lot of focus on my Facebook VIP page, on my Instagram stories. You can actually go back onto my Instagram, and there is a highlight saved into my on my bio that has all the posts that I posted on my story leading up to the sale and during the sale, so you can check out exactly how I marketed it there. Within my VIP group, I created an event for the sample sale, hyped it up, I went live, I talked about it, I snuck a few sneak peeks of pieces that were on the sale. And then what I did is through my customer e-blast that I do, through my Instagram and in my VIP group, I built an early access VIP list. And so I really spent a lot of time building this list. I just used a Google form and had people sign up to have 24 hours of early access. And really made a big deal about, all of these samples are one of a kind. They're 50% off and more. You want to be able to be on this list so that you can get on first and shop everything before other people get a chance, so that you can pick all the best stuff. So I had a list of about, I want to say, I would have to go back and check, because what I did is I had the list of people who had signed up, and then I also automatically added all of my hostesses from the past year as an added perk for them. And so there was some overlap there too, of course. So what I had was, I want to say it was like 80 people on this list now, between the people who signed up and then hostesses, that were a highly engaged group that was super excited for the sale to happen. And the night before the sale launched, so what you can do on Cheddar, what I did on the Cheddar Up is I set the sale, you can set a start time and an end time, and I set it to run from Monday through Friday. So VIPs were going to be able to access it on Monday, and then it was open to everybody else starting on Tuesday. And I created a password for the early access, and it was just the password early access VIP. And what I did on Sunday night, once I had built this whole list, I sent out an email to that group, and I used MailChimp so that I put them all on a mailing list, and sent out an email that was like, hey VIP, you're on the list. Stay tuned for an email launching, landing in your inbox at 9 a.m. tomorrow to access the sale. So people were like, I was like, set your alarms. You want to hop on right away. Again, just building that urgency. And then the cool thing about MailChimp is that I was able to then, at that same time, schedule the email to go out at 9 a.m. the next day with the access code. So people were able to hop on and shop. And what happened was really exciting. Within the first hour of the sale being open, I think I sold $500. Like, people were definitely engaged, excited, like hopping on the sale right when it was open and shopping. So that was really awesome. It's also super fun because Cheddar Up also has an app, so you can, have the app too, and you can look at it. And then every time someone places an order, it sends you a notification that says you've got cheddar. So I really had fun with that. And then all that I did to open the sample sale to all is on Tuesday, I went into Cheddar Up and I just removed the access code. So now it's open. The other thing that I set up in my settings that I like having is that when anybody views the sale, even once the access code is turned off, so they don't need a password, but they are required to enter their name and their email address when they access the Cheddar Up site. Now, I kind of went back and forth on this because I do think that maybe there was some drop off of someone that's like, oh, let me take a look. And then they're like, oh, I have to put in my email address, and I don't want to do that. And then, you know, they kind of abandon it. But I did like being able, when, you know, people had to do that, it created a list for me where I can actually go in and see who's viewed it. I can see how many times they viewed it. So like, you know, if someone's viewed it 6 times and they haven't purchased, that's really helpful for me to know. So then what I did is throughout the week, I kept posting things. Like I think midway through the sale, I did a story and a live video on my Facebook page where I showed some of the pieces that were still available and highlighted those. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I can't believe it's still, you know, it hasn't been scooped up yet. You know, make sure you hop on. The sale's closing Friday. And then of course Friday, you know, kind of like last chance. And then the sale's over, and basically like that first $500 that rolled in, like I was literally sitting on my computer drinking coffee and browsing the Target shoe sale, and I'm like getting cheddar. And so it was really exciting and so much easier than doing the auction style in the past. So that's what I did for creating the urgency and getting those sales. Then the other piece with Cheddar Up that is so amazing and easy is that they have an option to print shipping labels directly from the site. Oh, so the other thing that I had as one of the settings is people could go on and they can select local pickup if they're local to me, so that I can either drop it off to them or next time I see them or whatever, they can pick it up so that they don't have to pay shipping. You get to decide what the shipping rate is, and I made it $6 just to kind of be like in line with what Stella Dot does. However, if they purchased over $75, the shipping was free. And I had a lot of orders that were like $80, $88. So I think that really did cause people to buy more rather than pay the $6 shipping. They're like, oh, I'll go get another like bracelet or something like that, which is helpful to me because I'd rather pay for their shipping and get one more sample out of my office. And what I'm finding now is, so I'm doing the shipping on there. So it's cool because you can go in, you can print off this slip for their order, which was helpful for me when I was going through yesterday and organizing all the pieces. I save boxes so that for this purpose, so that I can put them in a box to make it look nice. I do just black out whatever the original item was on the back. That's kind of like a sample sale-y type of thing to do. So I print this off. It has the information. It has the items. I got everything all organized. I'm sending everybody a lookbook. I sent some people the spring collection lookbooks because everything's still current, but also just depending on like if I haven't seen them in a while and they're not local, you know, they don't have one of those lookbooks. So I sent some of those to those people, and now certain people, if I know that they've already seen the spring lookbook, especially, I'm sending them the new one. So that's going in there. I just wrote on the order slip a little thank you note so that it feels really personal. And then I got some bubble mailers from Target. I also always reuse the packaging from Stella Dot. I just have run out, and so I got these. It was like a 6-pack for $5. So super easy. Pack it all up, and then the system of Cheddar Up makes it so easy. You do need a little scale, and I'll show you mine. You need a little scale like this, which I think this was also from Target. I got it a few years ago. Very inexpensive. And don't forget, you guys, all of these things are deductible, so save the receipts. I use QuickBooks Self-Employed. Also, we have a partnership with Stella Dot for that, to keep track of everything, including the mileage that you have from driving to the store to go buy this stuff. So this is definitely worth it. You just weigh this, and then you enter the weight into Cheddar Up. It's gonna calculate the shipping cost. So far, most of them that have been in this size package have been between $4 and $5. So again, that $6 rate is pretty safe to cover the cost. If all they do is buy something small, they're actually kind of overpaying for the shipping, but it'll help kind of even things out. For like, I have 2 getaway bags that I sold, and so those larger boxes are going to cost more to ship. So it just helps kind of defray the cost, and also just giving people that incentive to add something else is totally worth it. Okay, so then you do that, you print it out, and it just prints out a regular old first class shipping label. It gives you the tracking information. So I was able to email each person and say, thanks for shopping my sale. Happy Mail's on the way. Here's your tracking number. And then I can just drop them off in my mailroom downstairs in my apartment. These all are gonna fit in the little slot. So I'll get those off and on their way. And it's so easy. And then on Cheddar Up, I just go in and I can make a little note and say, it's been sent. I have these ones ready for the customers that are local. I use the Stella Dot bags from our business supplies. This is the old branding, but it's perfect and just makes it a cute way to drop it off to them. Again, lookbook inside, all the same stuff. So that's basically it. I think it was just, you know, so much of building that excitement is what really created the higher sales. And I actually even had a couple people reach out to me and say that they missed it, even though I'm sort of like, you had a whole week, how did you miss it? But I actually just reopened it for one day today, just in case anybody had FOMO. And I got one more order at least. So we'll see if anybody else decides to shop. But again, hopefully this is helpful. Feel free to you know, ask any questions in the comments about how this worked or anything like that. If it's like a technical question about Cheddar Up, definitely refer to that Facebook group or ask Cheddar Up directly. But if you want to know like how I used the platform successfully, you know, some of the options that I used, I think I just laid them all out, but I'm happy to answer any other questions that you have. What I do with the samples that didn't sell is I just hang on to them. They are great to be able to use for giveaways. Now that I'm exploring this virtual styling, they're gonna be extremely useful for that, to where I can use them for giveaways for my online group, online style sessions with people who shop. If you ever are approached by someone to donate to like a silent auction or a raffle or anything like that, that is what I use those for as well. So it's any way that you can think of how you can put your samples to work. Another great thing that you can do is bring one tray with like 5 or 6 samples on it, and you can do, you know, book a date, pick a sample for if they book right there on the spot at your trunk show. So anything that you can do like that, that allows your samples to go to work for you. You know, you can use them as gifts. I think there's so much that you can do with it, but it's great to use your sample sale to have some cash to reinvest in your business, and then also make the pile a little bit smaller for storage purposes. So hopefully this helped you. I can't wait to hear how your sample sale goes. And again, ask any questions in the comments. Have a great day, you guys.